how to sync a drive to the Mac network. What you need is a connection to the Mac network and a hard drive. And for this we're going to be using the Leopard hard drive. So plug it in, connect it in. Type in your username. From here, the computer should recognise that we've actually got a mobile account on the hard drive. What it's doing at the moment is syncing the account on the hard drive to that of the network, which you can see because it's saying checking the home status. It's going through everything to see if there's been any differences, any changes to any files. It will update accordingly. I've got this plugged into USB 2, however it should also work on FireWire, and it would probably be better to use the FireWire connection in the Minimax and Music, as we've run out of USB ports on most of them. So here we have a file. It's found two files that are identical. One was modified half an hour after the other, so I'm going to tell it to keep the files with the most recent modification date. Tell it to continue. Once the mobile sync is complete, there should be an identical version of your home account on the Leopard and on the network. So we've got a print screen of Waxman in space that we're now going to delete off of this account, just to show that they are syncing up correctly. You also see that you've got two icons for the Leopard. One is a Mac and one is a PC friendly partition on the drive. Exchange is the PC friendly version that will allow you to swap files between Mac and PC, while the blue Leopard version is one that will contain your home account and all the updates on there. Logging on to the blue Leopard, you can see that we've now got users folder, and within that T Ward. Looking at the T Ward account, we can see that it was last updated. All the initial folders, desktop, public, music, documents, were all updated between 10:43 and 11 o'clock today. It's now 11:01, so we can see that these files have obviously been synced correctly. So from here, knowing that these files have been synced, we're going to do a home sync now, just so that it will sync the information that we've just told it, which is to delete the print screen of Waxman in space. So it will go through every single file doing an incremental search to ensure that everything's identical. Once this is finished, it will be exactly the same again on the desktop and the Leopard. So we're effectively saving the changes that we've done, so that image will not be present on the desktop on either account. Okay, once the sync is complete, all that's left to do is log off. It's going to resync at this stage anyway, but I would rather sync while logged on, just to ensure that I can see that it's happened. This sync, if anything was to happen to the network cable, potentially this sync could not be completed and you wouldn't know. So I would rather sync while you're logged in, just to ensure that the sync has been successful, as opposed to syncing this way, in which it won't necessarily tell you that the sync's complete, or you won't necessarily be sitting here watching it to see that the sync has been complete. Assume that all is fine, and then you'll get home and find out that it doesn't work. So best way to do it, sync while you're logged on, don't rely on this sync. Okay, we're now at the startup screen for this Mac. I'm just going to shut it down. Reason being is you can't unplug the Lacy while it's on the desktop. You can't eject it. There's no way of doing that because obviously it still wants to be able to sync up. I think the easiest way of unplugging the Lacy to be on the safe side is just to switch off the computer. So that's what I've done. Now that the computer's off, we know that we can unplug the Lacy and nothing bad can happen. With the power on and the Lacy connected into the Mac via one of the USB 2 sockets, we're just going to now switch on the Mac laptop and see what happens. Note that the Mac laptop is not connected to the network in any way. Okay, so we're up to the user screen, and again I'm using T Ward's username as an example for this. So when we type login, so now we're logged in, the screen's identical, and fingers crossed if we go to the trash we should see Waxman and Space. There we go, Waxman and Space. We know that that was removed from the desktop on the network. We've now successfully copied it, synced to Lacy, and now because we deleted it from the network, synced up, it's now deleted from Lacy and is not present on here anymore. So knowing that we don't need that file, I'm going to now empty the trash. Is that okay? Deleting Waxman and Space from the trash on the Lacy. This is the same as making any kind of change on the Lacy when at home, when away from the network. So if you were to alter a student's work or anything like that, any changes we now have to copy back to the network. So now that I've made my change, I can shut down this computer. And from here I'm going to plug the Lacy back into the Mac network, and it should now show no Waxman and Space in the trash because we've deleted it from this one and it's synced back to the network. Okay, we're now going to resync the Lacy to the Mac network. The Waxman and Space shouldn't be in the trash anymore. Again, this sync won't take that long because there's been limited changes. Okay, so we now go to the trash. You can see there, trash is empty, there's nothing in it. So we know it's been a successful resync. I'm just going to leave the Lacy in just to finalise all the syncing. I think it's best if you restart the computer or shut it down after this, just so that you know it's safe to unplug the Lacy. Nothing bad should happen. Once it's finished, there's no reason why, but I just can't seem to find a proper way of ejecting other than switching off or restarting the computer.